This racist comedian just threatened to shoot Godfrey on his podcast. This is probably the most cowardly thing I've ever heard in my life. So here's what's going on, right? So this racist dude, he's known to say the N-word. He's known to say a lot of terrible things about black people as a whole. Well, Godfrey called him out on it.
What I want to bring up, though, oh my God, are we at war? Are we at war with the likes of Godfrey? I haven't said a word about this guy. I've heard of him from other people. Anytime his name comes up, I thought Gilbert Godfrey. Gottfried. And then it's like, oh no, Godfrey, the comic, Godfrey. And so I'm like, what is this about? And I have no idea. I could speculate, but I have no real concrete reason why this problem with me. You got the clip? We'll play the clip.
No, not anymore.
Oh,
okay. Hold on. I got to start with it pops in so quickly. Oh God, who are they talking about? They're talking about play it again, like right from.
Wow, and that's weird. And Allie's probably
Allie.
used to the N-word anyway. She works for Cumia, right?
No, not anymore.
Pause it again. So they're talking about Allie for some reason, and the N-word. So that comes up. It's like, oh, Allie must be used to using the N-word. She works over for Cumia. And it's like, no, she doesn't work over there anymore. And then they start. So I guess, the N-word usage, that's what Godfrey has a problem with. I'm sure he never hears it when he's hanging out with all his boys, and they never call each other that every 2 seconds. And boy, I got to tell you, they probably just hate the fact that anyone that's not saying that word and literally getting away with it.
So Godfrey is on a podcast. This dude comes up. Godfrey makes it known he don't rock with this dude at all because this dude can't keep the N-word out of his mouth, right? Like at all. Now, he says the N-word throughout this video. Like when you hear a word get muted, that's usually the N-word being said in this video, right? So this dude is a despicable person, just a despicable human being, okay? So he starts to play oblivious like they usually do. I begin to say, well, I don't understand why Godfrey don't like me. I never called him the N-word. So he can't understand why Godfrey, a black man, would not like him for saying the N-word because he didn't call Godfrey the N-word personally.
Everyone, when confronted with that, apologizes and says, no, I'm sorry, and please don't. I'll never do it again. It was years ago. And me and maybe a couple other people here, whatever it is, I won't blow up anyone's spot. We just freely use the word because it's a word and it don't matter.
Yeah, that whole radio station needs their ass whooped. It'd be nice to go bum rush and just beat the out of Cumia, beat the out of what's his name?
Dino.
Dino needs his ass whooped. That's why he's not walking around New York because he's gonna get up as promised.
Where he lives in Harlem.
Yeah.
I gotta say, Godfrey, I've
Boy, yeah. I literally got fired from SiriusXM for saying that the community has this jump to violence. There's no real discussions. It's just literally you stepped on my foot, you disrespected me, and it's instant jump to violence. And like, oh my God, you're so racist. And this motherfucker is calling me a racist, based probably on all that stuff. Jump to violence, wants to beat up, wants to bum rush this entire studio. Would your sister case the joint when she was stealing people's purses? Was that Godfrey? Was that Mrs. Godfrey?
These people are so dishonest. First off, you lied on Godfrey. Godfrey never said he was going to do anything to you. Godfrey said y'all need some accountability. Y'all need some straightening. Godfrey says somebody got to give them some straightening. They need some accountability. Godfrey never said he was going to do anything. So you lied on Godfrey and then said Godfrey said he was going to do it. Godfrey said he was going to attack people in your building. Godfrey said he was going to attack the radio station or bum rush it. That's not what Godfrey said at all. Now, if Godfrey ain't want to give you some straightening before, he probably will want to give you some straightening now because you brought up his sister. You brought up his family. You get to playing. See, y'all get to playing and y'all think y'all would not be held responsible. Y'all think y'all would dodge accountability forever. There's no such thing as dodging accountability forever. There's no such thing as that. So Godfrey never said he wanted to give him some straightening, but after this, he gonna want to give you some straightening now, man. So check this out. So the coward lies on Godfrey and lies on his intent. Then the coward creates this makeup scenario where Godfrey is going to attack him or show up to fight him. And then in his made up scenario, instead of throwing the Dukes, pause, that sounded hella white of me, man. All right, instead of fighting, throwing up your guard and being a man, he says he's gonna pull out a gun and shoot Godfrey in this made up scenario that Godfrey never said.
He wants to bum rush the place and beat up. Look, I don't know how old Godfrey is. How old is Godfrey? I've heard his name ballied about over the course of the years, so I know he's not a kid.
52.
He's 52. 52. And he's threatening violence against another guy who's in his 50s and a guy that just turned 61. What a fight that would be. Let me tell you something. Anthony Cumia doesn't fight, first of all. I don't fight, especially with a head stomper. I don't fight. I assess a threat and see if it's adequate to somebody after I assess the threat. Why would I fight at my age? Why am I actually, hey, you, I'm going to throw some fisticuffs. Anything to me would be life-threatening right now. Any contact with my head, anything would probably be life-threatening. I think you could look at a scale and age and stuff and whatnot. So I would take any threat of violence against me as a threat against my life and just somebody. I can't be bothered with duking it out. I can't be bothered. And Godfrey's probably used to that because that community seems to do that at any age. Motherfuck Godfrey.
Godfrey, take that as a threat on your life. Take that as a threat on your life. He is saying he wants to shoot you for something that you never said. So when you see him, you should move as if he's an active threat because he just openly threatened you. Right? Now, you could just not say the N-word. Like you could just not, call people racial slurs. Right? Like you could just not be an intolerable human being. How about that? Right? Even things like, yeah, that community love violence, huh? What? The overwhelming majority of black people don't commit crimes. They aren't violent. So how does a small percentage of black people represent the entire population? Now, if I say, man, that community love touching on who they shouldn't be touching on, I'll be wrong, right? For saying, that community is disproportionately being arrested for nasty crimes involving touching people they shouldn't be touching, right? People who are not adults. I'll be wrong for saying that, right? Because again, it'll be ignorant to say this percentage of people represents an entire population when it's just not true. Now, this dude can't seem to understand why exactly Godfrey would be upset at him. Now, I don't know if he's playing dumb or if he's just truly dumb.
And Zumach, whatever, I don't know. Maybe he's just trying to. I always want to give Chad the benefit of the doubt because he's probably, that video will probably get more hits than any video he's put out. He's using the Opie strategy. But I'm just like, what the is this guy threatening violence? What did I do to him personally? Here's the conundrum and another in the long list of hypocrisy in the community, I'll call it. I'll say, please don't lump us all together. When you see a ridiculously inordinate amount of crime in the black community, it doesn't mean we all commit crimes. We're individuals. Yeah, there's people committing crimes. But we're individual. Could you judge us as such? All right. That's how I've lived my life. That's really how I've lived my life. Individuals. And then the second you the group, they'll come running like you're them. I think you don't want to be part of the group. I think you want to be treated as an individual. If I'm looking at the daily onslaught of crime going on in New York City and seeing that the multitude of it is being perpetrated by black guys, men, and I bring it up, why the would you care? Why would Godfrey give a if I call them the because they're acting that way? Why would Godfrey care? I'm not saying it to you. You want to be judged individually? Why paint us with a wide brush? Why?
Did y'all realize how the wide brush is only unacceptable when it comes to saying the N-word or being held accountable for saying the N-word? Because the wide brush is all of a sudden acceptable when he said in this very same video, their community is violent, right? Like, these people are violent people, black. So you're talking about a small percentage of black people while also painting them as if they represent the majority of black people. So you're perfectly fine painting a wide brush when it comes to you attaching stereotypes on black folks. However, when it comes to Godfrey saying, bro, you need to be held accountable, you need some straightening for saying the N-word, all of a sudden, why do you want to be considered as a good? Just say you scared and keep it pushing, sir. Just say you don't want those problems. You don't want the straightening and keep it pushing, man. Because what you're spewing is nonsense and is hypocritical and is contradictory and it makes no sense whatsoever. See, we've never had the opportunity of getting treated like individuals. We've never had the pleasure of being judged as individuals. We move through this world, all right, being judged just because we're black. We've never had the opportunity of being judged by the content of our character. We just never had that opportunity, right? We get pulled over by a cop. The cop is going to be hella suspicious of us, right? They're going to treat us pretty poorly and badly, right? And they say they're justified in doing so because, incidents or meetings or occurrences with other black folks have gone wrong or bad, right? And then y'all say, can y'all blame them? Can y'all blame them? Yeah, we can blame them, right? Because you don't want to paint a wide brush. So unfortunately for you, when we go into that bank with a perfect credit score to get a loan, right? That bank, it doesn't judge us by the content of our character or by our credit score. They look at us, right? And it's, they judge us by our skin tone, right? They group us, right? They stereotype. We aren't judged individually, right? When we fill in that job application and they see that name of ours, they don't judge us by the content of our character, by the content of the resume. They judge you, by the color of your skin. You aren't judged individually. That's just our reality, right? So if we see someone like you, a coward like you, calling another brother the N-word or a portion of our community the N-word, that's not your place. We will police ourselves. We don't need you. We will police ourselves. So yeah, Godfrey is 100% correct to check you because you need to be checked, right? Now you could pretend like all you want as if you don't understand, but deep down inside, we know you understand.
Why say all people and this? I'm not. I'm being very specific. So why the you being insulted if a member of the so-called community is acting like a piece of and I call it out? You should just be like, yeah, okay. Let me give you a little insight on the white community and how we act. When someone's a piece of we call them a piece of if they want to beat the out of them, if cops want to bludgeon them, shoot them in the face, whatever the they want to do while they're bringing in a child murderer or whatever the we don't sit there and go, hey, you motherfuckers. We go, good, because we're individuals. We don't want to lump us all together. With every cry of don't lump us together, you actions are lumping yourselves together. Why else would Godfrey be mad? Have I ever said anything bad about Godfrey? I defy you to find one clip during my entire broadcast career where I said one bad thing about Godfrey. One thing. Find it. You won't. I've never talked about him. And you know, I'm a problem because I'm bashing your community's problem, if you want to be, you know, a community, or you're insane.
That don't even make sense. Like, so our option is, hey, allow white folks to call black folks racial slurs, or B, allow white folks to racially profile us by considering us all the same. Those are our two options, right? Either allow them to say racial slurs to us, or they will racial profile us. What? Yo, again, y'all are clinically insane, right? But when that accountability and that straightening come to your doorstep, I don't want no victimhood, okay? Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think, okay? If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, click on this video right here somewhere on my screen, somewhere here, or here, or here, or here, somewhere on my screen to find out how the feds just exposed that Future was one of Big U's victims. I'm going to see you guys in this Big U and Future video. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.